Biggest takeaway from the game, well, I gotta like decompress, like and understand, everything that just transpired for real. So I just showered, I just did everything I could to get ready to come in here. And then I'll be able to watch it and be able to understand, but it's a lot of different things you could think and everything. But the main thing is, decompress, chill, and be able to learn from it,
The reaction was instant the moment Shedeur Sanders stepped in front of the cameras after the Bears game, because nobody expected him to be that raw, that direct, and that unapologetically honest about throwing 3 interceptions.
Belief, in myself, and I definitely, like it is every week. You got to get out there, learn from it, play better, and that's it.
Shedeur, the first half didn't go your way, but you guys were in it. Just kind of what was the mindset going into the second half of trying to get some consistency?
Yeah, really. Going into the second half, it was really like get things going, and get rolling on offense.
As sources claim, this wasn't a polished PR appearance or a coached response meant to deflect blame. It was accountability in its purest form. Shedeur didn't hide behind protection issues, play calling, or pressure. He owned every mistake publicly and did it with a calm confidence that stunned even veteran reporters. He reportedly said the interceptions weren't unlucky, weren't flukes, and weren't someone else's fault. They were decisions he wanted back. That tone immediately shifted the conversation. Instead of roasting him, analysts leaned in. Fans listened differently. This wasn't denial, this was leadership. According to insiders, Shedeur acknowledged that trying to force rhythm after limited reps played a role, but he didn't use that as an excuse. He explained that great quarterbacks don't wait for perfect situations, they adjust in real time. That mindset separated his response from the usual post-game cliches.
You can't look at that. You can't focus on that. That's an uncontrollable thing, and I'm sure everybody that went in and out, I'm sure they didn't want to be hurt, so that's a part of life.
Social media clips of the press conference spread fast because people weren't used to hearing a young quarterback speak with that level of clarity. The 3 interceptions became less about failure and more about growth under pressure. Analysts pointed out that quarterbacks who hide from mistakes rarely survive long in the league. Those who confront them publicly earn trust faster. Shedeur's honesty didn't make the interceptions disappear, but it reframed them. Instead of weakness, they became proof of responsibility. And responsibility is the foundation of leadership. For a rookie already under a microscope, that mattered more than a clean stat line.
It's something that you have to continue to work at and learn and be able to understand with each game, understand the different speeds, understand, talking to them about we got to play a little faster right here, So it's just a lot of different variables you have to go into each game with, so you got to learn from them.
Was it hard to?
Nah.
If you already answered this, you don't answer it again, but
It was just hard for us to get in the rhythm. That's all it was.
how would you just assess or sum up your own game? How did you feel about the way that you played today?
Oh, we got a loss, so I didn't do good.
What really turned Shedeur's comments into a viral moment was how he broke down the interceptions without sounding defensive or rattled. As sources claim, he walked through each one in detail, explaining what he saw, what he expected, and where the decision broke down. That level of transparency is rare, especially from a young quarterback facing heavy criticism. Shedeur reportedly admitted that one interception came from trying to be aggressive instead of patient, another from misreading coverage leverage, and the third from trusting timing that wasn't there yet. Analysts praised that breakdown because it showed understanding, not confusion. He wasn't guessing. He knew exactly what went wrong. That distinction is huge.
They definitely did. Shedeur was 18 to 35, 177 yards, 0 touchdowns, and he threw 3 picks. There's no excuses to be made, for the interceptions.
Quarterbacks who don't understand mistakes repeat them. Quarterbacks who explain them usually fix them. According to insiders, coaches inside the building respected that response more than any apology. Mistakes happen. Accountability earns respect. The Bears game was messy, but Shedeur didn't shy away from the moment. He embraced it. Fans noticed the contrast between his honesty and the organization's usual guarded messaging. While the Browns tried to control narratives, Shedeur faced his head-on. That authenticity made it harder to dismiss him as unready. Analysts revisited the tape with a different lens, noting that despite the interceptions, Shedeur showed poise, pocket awareness, and command. The mistakes didn't look reckless. They looked like a quarterback pushing the limits of timing and trust. That's a fine line every starter walks.
Your job or anything like that when he says something like that?
You know what league we in? Yeah, you can lose your job at any point in time. So you don't play with fear. When you live and play in fear, then you'll never be yourself. So I don't play or live in fear. Whatever situation I'm in. Whatever happens, it happens. But I live each moment and try to live each day to the fullest. So never live in worry or fear.
According to sources, former quarterbacks watching the clip said the same thing. Those interceptions weren't alarming. The response was impressive. Shedeur didn't ask for patience. He demanded accountability from himself first. That flipped the script entirely. Inside league circles, insiders say Shedeur's brutal honesty may have done more for his long-term credibility than a flawless performance ever could. According to sources, front offices and coaches value self-awareness almost as much as arm talent. Shedeur displayed that awareness on a national stage. Instead of blaming circumstances, he acknowledged that preparation must translate faster under game speed. That's the language decision-makers respect. Analysts pointed out that rookies often crumble under criticism. Shedeur leaned into it. He didn't shrink. He didn't deflect. He learned publicly. That matters.
It's gonna happen. So it is what it is. I'm not one to ever kick somebody down when you're down. He understands that's a big play, and I'm sure he's hard on himself. So it's no need for me to be extra and do that.
The Browns' quarterback situation has been clouded by hesitation and politics, but Shedeur's response cut through all of that. It reminded everyone why belief in him exists in the first place. Mistakes didn't define him, how he handled them did. Fans reacted with renewed confidence. The conversation shifted from, can he handle pressure, to why isn't he trusted more? According to insiders, that shift creates pressure on leadership, not the quarterback. When a player owns failure with maturity, excuses disappear elsewhere. Shedeur's response also resonated because it felt earned. He didn't talk like someone overwhelmed. He talked like someone processing growth in real time. That's rare. Quarterbacks aren't judged only on wins and losses. They're judged on how they respond when things go wrong. The Bears game didn't damage Shedeur's reputation nearly as much as people expected. In some ways, it strengthened it. The interceptions were real. The honesty was louder. And in the NFL, honesty under fire often separates those who last from those who fade. As the media cycle continued, insiders say Shedeur Sanders' brutal honesty began changing how the Bears game was remembered entirely, and that shift didn't happen by accident. According to sources, the conversation moved away from box score watching and toward context. Analysts revisited the interceptions and pointed out how none came from panic. They came from confidence pushed slightly too far. That matters. One interception came from trying to beat a coverage window that closes at NFL speed. Another came from trusting a receiver to settle where the defense didn't allow it. Those are timing errors, not fear errors. Shedeur acknowledged that difference clearly. He didn't say, the defense fooled me. He said, I trusted the look too much. That's a quarterback learning the league in real time. Former players weighed in saying those mistakes are common for quarterbacks who believe they can make every throw. That belief isn't a flaw, it's a starting point. What stood out most was Shedeur's refusal to let the interceptions define the entire performance. He spoke about missed opportunities just as much as mistakes, emphasizing that drives left on the field hurt more than turnovers. That mindset resonated with veterans. It showed he's already thinking in terms of efficiency and momentum, not just survival. Fans reacted strongly, flooding social media with clips of his press conference instead of the interceptions themselves. That's rare. Usually mistakes go viral. This time, accountability did. The Browns' overall struggles still loomed, but Shedeur's response insulated him from becoming the scapegoat. According to insiders, coaches respect players who take blame without theatrics. It simplifies correction. It builds trust. Shedeur's honesty didn't erase the loss, but it established credibility that can't be coached. That's earned, and once earned, it sticks. What made the situation even more compelling was how sharply Shedeur's response contrasted with the uncertainty surrounding the Browns' quarterback handling overall. As sources claim, while the organization continued speaking in vague terms about evaluation and process, Shedeur spoke with clarity and ownership. That contrast wasn't lost on anyone. Analysts openly noted that the most confident voice in the room belonged to the rookie who just threw 3 interceptions. That says everything. According to insiders, leadership isn't about avoiding mistakes. It's about standing in them and moving forward. Shedeur did exactly that. He acknowledged that NFL defenses punish hesitation and arrogance equally, and that finding balance is the next step. That statement alone showed growth beyond his experience level. Fans appreciated the honesty because it felt real, not rehearsed. There was no attempt to spin the night as almost great. He called it what it was, a learning moment that can't be wasted. The Browns' quarterback room remains under scrutiny, but Shedeur's response shifted pressure upward. When a rookie handles criticism better than the system around him, questions start traveling in the wrong direction for coaches. According to sources, teammates respected how he took the heat. No finger pointing, no frustration, just work. That kind of response builds quiet support in locker rooms. The Bears game may have added interceptions to the stat sheet, but it also added credibility to Shedeur's profile. He didn't hide. He didn't crumble. He learned publicly. And that's often the difference between quarterbacks who fade and quarterbacks who last. In the end, insiders say the Bears game might be remembered less for the 3 interceptions and more for how Shedeur Sanders handled the moment when everything could have gone sideways. According to sources around the league, quarterbacks are judged hardest after bad games, not good ones. Anyone can smile after wins. Character shows up after losses. Shedeur showed it. He didn't deflect blame onto timing, protection, or limited reps. He didn't lean on excuses the public would have accepted. He chose accountability. That choice matters long term. It builds trust with coaches, teammates, and fans. More importantly, it signals readiness for responsibility. The interceptions were real. They'll show up on film forever. But so will the response. That response told the league Shedeur understands the weight of the position. He knows mistakes hurt teams, not egos. He knows growth comes from ownership, not denial. That's quarterback DNA. The Browns' season remains turbulent, but Shedeur's standing came out stronger than expected. He didn't win the game, but he won belief. And belief is what quarterbacks need before opportunity fully arrives. As the noise finally settled, insiders say the 7th chapter of this story isn't about interceptions anymore. It's about trajectory, perception, and what Shedeur Sanders just proved without even winning the game. According to sources around the league, quarterbacks don't get defined by single performances. They get defined by patterns. Panic versus poise, excuses versus accountability, growth versus denial. Shedeur's response after the Bears game placed him firmly on the right side of every one of those lines. 3 interceptions usually bury rookies in narratives they never escape. This time, the opposite happened. Analysts stopped talking about whether Shedeur belongs and started talking about when the organization will fully trust him. That's a massive shift. Former players pointed out that the mistakes he made were aggressive mistakes, not scared ones. Those are correctable. Fear isn't. According to insiders, coaches across the league would rather rein in confidence than try to manufacture it. Shedeur already has it. What he showed after the game was command of self, which matters just as much as command of the offense. Fans also noticed something critical. He didn't play victim. He didn't blame circumstance. He didn't lean on draft position or expectations. He stood on performance alone. That resonates with locker rooms. Players follow quarterbacks who take bullets for the team. They trust quarterbacks who don't dodge responsibility. The Browns' broader quarterback chaos didn't disappear, but Shedeur separated himself from it. The turbulence around him didn't define him. He defined himself inside it. According to sources, that's how quarterbacks quietly earn leadership before being officially handed it. This chapter also reframed the season. The Bears game didn't become a setback. It became evidence of readiness under pressure. Shedeur learned publicly, absorbed criticism, and responded with clarity instead of frustration. That's rare. The league noticed, media noticed, fans noticed, and most importantly, teammates noticed. Quarterback growth isn't always linear. Sometimes it shows up in how players respond when everything goes wrong. Shedeur responded like someone built for the position long term. The interceptions will fade into film sessions. The response will stay. This chapter closed with one truth becoming impossible to ignore. Shedeur Sanders isn't just surviving the NFL spotlight. He's learning to command it. And once a quarterback reaches that stage, opportunity usually follows. Like the video, subscribe for more deep dives, and stay locked in as Shedeur Sanders continues navigating pressure, growth, and the spotlight in one of the league's most intense situations.